Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do the gameplay and walkthrough for the season 130 of the Tournament of Power. I will show you how to target and position for all 12 fights in the yellow line that you can see in the right hand side. Please listen very carefully for each fight explanation because positioning and targeting is going to be the main factor in helping you to survive the entire way. If you play randomly, you might not survive and you might get a very bad score. In terms of team building, replacement, and what character to choose, I already went over it during the guide video, which was on Wednesday, but I will put the clip for the team building right now. So if you do not have your team ready or if you are confused, you can listen to it. If you already made your team, you can move on to fight number one using the timestamp. That's my team for this season. As you can see here, there is only 7 tier 2 characters, so I'm gonna use all of them. For this season, any of the characters you see on screen, if they're above 7 star, I would really advise you to use them. And if you have the new legend Bardock, you're gonna use him here in the empty slot, or you're gonna use him instead of this Frieza because I'm not gonna use that Frieza that much this season. He has horrible stats. So if you have legend Bardock, you can use him instead, or you can use him as your last character here. It's gonna depend on your box. If everyone is maxed out here, you can use Bardock as your last character. And if you do not have a high star team, your legend Bardock will replace Frieza, and that 8th spot is gonna be a tier 3 character that is gonna be helping you in terms of stats. Other than that, if you are missing any character of specific color, or if one of them is a pretty low star, what you're gonna do is replace him with a similar color from tier 3. For example, you don't have red Pycon, you're gonna replace him with red Bardock. If you do not have green Frieza, you're gonna replace him with a green, and so on. If you do not have the legend Bardock like me, or if you replace him with Frieza, this last spot, the 8th one, is going to be a character that will help you in terms of your weakness. So, for example, if you have a low star red character in your team, for example, if this Pycon is a 6 star, 7 star, and all the others are pretty high star, you're going to have an 8th character that is a red from tier 3, for example, Zenkai Red Bardock. If you have like a low star Frieza here, the blue one, you're gonna have a blue character, for example, the Zenkai Super Saiyan Bardock, and that's the character I'm gonna be using because Frieza is the weakest of them all outside the EX yellows, but there is 2 of them, so I don't need a third yellow. And if you do not have like a green, or if your green but Frieza is low star, you can use a tier 3 green, and that's basically it for your team. If you do not have this LL Frieza, you can use EX Tora as his replacement. And if your Frieza LL is low star, but your Chilled is high star, you can keep Frieza and make sure Chilled is at least Zenkai 1, so your team can survive without a problem. That's basically it for the team building for this season. There isn't much to look for because there is a very restricted tag and we don't have a lot of option. Hopefully you understood everything in terms of replacement. If you have any question, let me know in the comment. I will answer them and hopefully you're gonna make a great team. Now for the equipment, it's gonna be the same as always. You're gonna use a C equip on everyone and you're gonna use a Clash equip on everyone. This equip will be only activated if the character is above 7 star. So if your character is below 7 star, you probably cannot use it. Use it any silver equip in that case. And the third equip is going to be a gold depending on the type of character. My Frieza is a support type, so I'm going to use this on him, which is the Vidal equip. Let's get it started, but before let me show you my friendship, of course, if you are curious. I worked on this shield. He was friendship 3 on Wednesday, and I put him in a couple of let's fight. All the other are basically max friendship. This guy, I probably would never use him in any fight, I don't need him. And for my art boost, let's see, that's what I have, but you don't really need art boost. I have Pycon and Frieza art boosted, but I did that like a couple of years ago because of the old TOP format, but you don't really need it for the 1KCC. It's not necessary. Now let's get to fight number 1, which is the middle one here. we're gonna have two red enemies, so what we're gonna do is take them at the end and put blue in the top row so he take most of the damage. Now if your Frieza is below 7 star, what you're gonna do is put your 8th character that is tier 3 who is blue in the top row. Like I said during the intro, your 8th character, which is Bardock for me here, my only tier 3 character, is gonna be a color that is helping your weakness. If you have a tier 2 that is low star and he is blue, you're gonna take an 8th character that is blue from tier 3 and he is high star. If you have a low star green, you're gonna take an 8th character who is green and helping you. Same for red, and you should have one of each color who is high star during this season. Regardless, if your Frieza is below 7 star, the blue one, you're gonna put Bardock next to him to help him. And in that case, if you have Legend Bardock, you're gonna replace Pycon with Legend Bardock. If your Frieza is above 7 star, you're gonna put here Shield. And if you have Legend Bardock, you're gonna replace Shield here for Legend Bardock. Now, if you are missing the red Pycon, you're gonna put double yellow with this tier 2 Frieza. If you are missing the green Frieza here, you're gonna put double yellow in the bottom and put red Pycon in the middle of the red you have. If you are missing one of the purples, you're gonna put double yellow again and put Pycon in the middle. And try to go full tier 2 if possible, unless you're gonna take this blue Bardock to help your Frieza tank. So if you don't have one of the green, one of the red, or one of the yellow, you can adapt depending on what I showed you. For the targeting, it's pretty simple. We're gonna take the double red at the end, the green first, so he doesn't attack our blue too much. Here is the team that we will be using, and we're gonna use this targeting with the green going first. Then it's gonna be the purple, blue, yellow, and we finish with the double red. Let's see the HP, pretty decent, just the blue Frieza lost some damage, but that's okay because we're gonna have the ability to heal him in multiple fights. Now let's move on to the second one. We have 3 green enemy for this fight, so logically we take them at the end, and we're gonna target the revival Goku 6th because he has 2 HP bar, and hopefully we can Rising Rush his second. Other than that, we're gonna have double purple in the top row. It's gonna be very important to have purples in the top row. I would advise you to have 2 of them, obviously. If you do not have one of the tier 2 purples, you should have Tora as your second purple and you can put him in the top row. Now, you can bench Tora if you have one of the purples that is your tier 2 as Zenkai, so he can go on his own Zenkai in the top row. And here you can put the yellow Frieza and go full tier 2, and that should be okay. If you are missing one of the tier 2 characters outside the purples, let's say if you are missing the red Pycon, you can put double yellow here, and I would put the blue Frieza here and drop the yellow Frieza to the bottom. If you are missing the green Frieza here, you can put the yellow in the bottom and Pycon in the middle, obviously. But yeah, yellow Frieza is not good at all. I wouldn't recommend using him. Look at that, he has 179k blast attack. Even type neutral, he will do less damage than this Frieza, who will go type disadvantage versus green, I believe. Or at least type neutral, this Frieza will do damage. That other Frieza will do no damage to anyone unless they are purple. So we're gonna take this blue Frieza as our last character, and he's gonna heal during this fight. Small cut from the future, I forgot to mention it. For the Legend Bardock, ideally you're gonna replace the blue Frieza instead of him, and he's gonna go here as your second yellow. If you have a full tier 2 team, obviously. If you do not have a full tier 2 team and you're missing one of the tier 2 characters, you're gonna use the Bardock instead of one of them. For example, if you do not have a tier 2 green, you're gonna use Legend Bardock instead of the green. That's basically it. Let's go back to the clip. Now, for the targeting, what we're gonna do is take the yellow first. We have double purple in the top row. We need to eliminate the yellow quickly enough, and we're gonna take the triple green at the end. That is the team that I will be using. We're gonna take out the yellow first, then the Gohan will go second, he transform turn 2, then it's gonna be Beerus, then we finish with the triple green, and the revival Goku need to be the last one. That's all for the fight. Our HP is pretty high. We couldn't full KO everyone. I told you it's pretty difficult this season. if you have a revival enemy without art boost, it's very hard to full KO, but the point should be enough. Now let's move on to fight number 3. Very similar to the last fight, we are gonna have 3 green enemies, but this time there is no revival unit, so it's gonna be easier to full KO. Same concept, we're gonna have double purple in the top row, and if you do not have one of the tier 2 purples, you can put Tora instead of one of them, the tier 3 purple. If you have only one of the tier 2 purples, but he's a Zenkai, and he's above 70% HP, what you can do is put the purple Frieza here, and you can go with full tier 2 and put this yellow Frieza. And I would advise to put the yellow Frieza in the middle, so you're gonna have double yellow for this fight. Other than that, if you have both tier 2 purple and one of them is low HP because he's a low star character, for example, if this Frieza is low HP, and I would say below 70-60% is low HP, I'll put it in the bottom row and leave only one purple in the top, and this purple need to be above 70% HP for him to be alone, and ideally Zenkite. If he's not Zenkite, he might struggle in this spot on his own, so we're gonna put the double purple again. If this Frieza is below 40% HP or one of your purple, please put them in the bottom because he will die this fight. Other than that, we're gonna have our blue unit in the bottom row here, and this character is gonna go here because we don't have any good tier 2. This guy is pretty bad. Now if you are missing one of the green or red tier 2 character, you can go with double yellow here and have full tier 2. If you are missing the red here, you can go double yellow again, and that should be okay. Now for the legend Bardock, sorry, you're gonna use him instead of chilled, and he's gonna be straight color replacement. Also you can use him instead of this blue Frieza. Actually I would go with blue Frieza, it's a little bit better in my opinion. And you're gonna put chilled in the bottom row like this, and that should be alright. Now for the targeting, what we're gonna do is the yellow first and the green at the end, obviously, because we have double purple in the top row. So this is my team. I will take the yellow first, then we will go with the red, then purple, and 3 greens at the end. Perfect, our HP is pretty high, and we full KO everyone, no revival unit, so it shouldn't be a problem. Now let's move on to fight number 4. We have 2 blue enemies here, so we're gonna take them at the end, and we're gonna put our green in the top row. Now there is only one green this season, which is the free-to-play Frieza. If you have him, obviously you're gonna put him in the top row. If he's above 7 star, he should be fine alone. If he's below 7 star, you're gonna put a second green that you took, and they're gonna be together. If you do not have the green Frieza, you should have taken a tier 3 green as a replacement, and you put that character in the top on its own. For the middle row, we're gonna have double purple and a yellow. Now if one of your purples is below 50% HP, I would say, you're gonna put him in the bottom and swap him with the blue Frieza, and that way we're gonna heal that purple. The targeting is gonna be much worse, but your purple will be saved and he can gain some HP. In the middle row he also might be safe, but there is a low chance he gets attacked. If you have only one character in the top row, there is a chance your middle row get attacked. If you have 2 characters, your middle row will be fine and they won't be attacked. Now for the legend Bardock, if you have him, you're gonna use him instead of chilled, obviously, as your yellow for this fight. For the targeting, the 2 blues will go at the end and the purple will be first. We're gonna use this team, and we're gonna do the Gohan first, then we're gonna go with the yellow since we have a red attacking late, then we're gonna go with the green, our double purple will attack turn 2, then a red, and we finish with the 2 blues. Pretty easy. Our green took damage, but that's not a problem. We full KO'd everyone. Now let's move on to the next fight, which is number 5. Back-to-back fights where we need greens in the top row. So we have 4 blue enemies, and it's very important for this fight. Obviously, if you have a tier 3 green, you're gonna put your tier 3 green. If you have the Frieza but he's low star, 7 star or lower, you can put the second green that you took for this fight, and I would remove the Pycon. and put them together. If your Frieza is low HP and the other green is high HP, you can put him solo in the top, and that should be fine. But yeah, the Frieza should do okay 7-star on his own. Other than that, if you have the Legend Bardock, you're gonna use him instead of this guy, the Yellow Chill. If you are missing either Blue Frieza or the Red Pycon or the Purple Frieza, you can use this Yellow Frieza instead as your last tier 2 character. And for this fight, we're gonna split our purples. We're gonna put one in the middle, one in the bottom. The one that is lower HP for you will go to the bottom so he can heal this fight, and the rest is self-explanatory. Now for the targeting, how we're gonna do this here. We're gonna go with the purple first, then the green, and 4 blues will go at the end. I'm targeting the metal cooler last because he has more star, and I think he will take longer to eliminate, so we're gonna do this. Pretty simple. My recording crashed, so sorry about that, but we got 2.6 million points. Our HP is pretty high on if he's dropped to 70%, which is not bad at all. He took no damage. He was low HP from the previous fight. Now let's move on to the 6th fight. For this fight number 6 and the next fight number 7, we're gonna need a red in the top row, and it's gonna be back-to-back fights like the green we did previously, so he will drop low in HP, but do not worry too much, we're gonna have some fights to heal him after that. Now for your Pycon, if he's below 7-star, obviously you're gonna need a second red, and you're gonna use the tier 3 red that you took, which is probably Red Bardock, and you're gonna put both red together here. If he's above 7-star, he should be doing the job. And if you are using Red Bardock, you're gonna replace one of the purple. If you do not have Pycon at all, you're gonna use the red from tier 3 on its own here. Now if you have Legend Bardock, what you're gonna do is put Legend Bardock instead of one of the purples, and put the Legend Bardock in the middle, drop the green to the bottom here. If you are missing one of the tier 2 characters from the bottom 5, ignore the red here. You can use Yellow Frieza instead of one of them, and you should be alright. For the targeting, we're gonna go with the blue first and the 2 yellows at the end. Here is my team for this fight, and we're gonna do the blue first, then the green, then we move on to the purple, red, and double yellow at the end. Very easy. We dropped some HP on the red, which is expected, and we full KO'd everyone. Now let's move on to fight number 7, which is probably the most annoying of this TOP round. Again, we need a red in the top row. It's gonna be Pycon for the tier 2. If you have double red because your Pycon is lower star, you're gonna put here your double red and drop the Yellow Chill. Unless you have the Legend Bardock, so you're gonna drop the purple and you're gonna have Legend Bardock in the middle. If you have only a red, a tier 3 red, then you're gonna put the tier 3 red on his own here instead of the Pycon. For this setup exactly, you're gonna use the Legend Bardock instead of the Green Frieza. So if you have Legend Bardock, you're gonna remove Green Frieza and put him here, or instead of the Chill, but I would say double yellow is better than a green, and the yellow for this fight. Now, if you have, or if you are missing Green Frieza or Blue Frieza or one of the purples here, you can use Yellow Frieza instead of them, and you can have an extra tier 2. We're gonna split our 2 purple, one of them is gonna go to the middle, one of them is gonna go to the bottom. If you have one of them supering, for example me, I have Chilled with 100% gauge. If he's supering turn 1, I would put him in the middle, and we're gonna need that super. If none of them is supering, I would probably put Frieza because he's fast, and we need our purple to attack early on, but Chilled also is pretty fast. It doesn't matter too much, to be honest. You're just gonna split them. I would put in the bottom the one that is lower HP, so he can heal this fight. For the targeting, what we're gonna do is the green first, the DKP, not the orange Piccolo. We're gonna take the revive later on. Then it's gonna be second the Piccolo Junior, the red one. We have a blue attacking later on in the turn. Then it's gonna be orange Piccolo. Start of turn 2, we have some purples attacking, and they're gonna do damage to him, or we have one purple, and hopefully we can eliminate him by the end of turn 3 or end of turn 2, sorry, with our second purple. Then we're gonna go with the purple Piccolo, and we finish with the double yellow, and the legend Piccolo or legend limited need to go last because of his transformation. He has higher stats. Now, I don't know if we will full KO, there is a revival, there is a transforming unit, but hopefully we do, and let's see the result. Okay, our HP for Pycon dropped a little bit, Green Frieza is still low, and we full KO'd, which is great. With a revival unit, it's not always guaranteed. Now, let's move on to fight number 8, which is again a fight with a revival. There is two ways to approach this fight, either blues in the top row or greens in the top row. Both are very viable, both are pretty good. Now let's start with the green top row strategy. Obviously you're gonna put Frieza here. If you do not have Frieza, you're gonna put a tier 2 green. And if your Frieza is lower HP, below 70% HP, and you still want to use the green top row strategy, you're gonna bring your tier 3 green if you have one here, and I would put him instead of the red unit. So you're gonna remove Pycon and put the tier 3 green, and that should do it. Other than that, if you want to use the legend Bardock, sorry, you're gonna use him instead of this shield, and we're gonna have double purple in the middle here. Shield need to be on the key recovery tile for the green top row strategy. In this fight, our red Pycon is gonna heal, and which is great because he's at 67% HP. Now we move on to the blue top row strategy. You're gonna put obviously this blue Frieza here. We're gonna have double purple again, but one of them will go on the key recovery, and the yellow here is gonna drop, and we're gonna put the green Frieza in the middle. If you do not have green Frieza, or you don't have a tier 2 green and want to go full tier 2, you can put the yellow Frieza instead. I would swap it like this and put the shield in the middle. If you want to use Legend Bardock, you're going to use him instead of one of the yellows. If you have the green Frieza, you're going to use the Legend Bardock instead of the yellow shield here. Now for the targeting, let me show you both of them. We're going to start with the green top row strategy. We're going to take the two blues at the end, the purple first, and the green will go third. The red, one of them will go second, the other fourth. For the blue top row strategy, you're gonna take the two red at the end, and we're gonna take the green first for this one. Here guys, I'm putting a post commentary because I did a small mistake. That was in my part, not the targeting, and order is fine. I just put the blue top row strategy positioning for the green targeting. So my Frieza took a lot of damage, the blue one. It should have been the green Frieza in the top row, and I didn't full KO because of it. That was a small mistake. I wouldn't repeat it for the second attempt. But yeah, he still survived, and let's go to the next one. If you noticed in the last fight, I put my targeting for the wrong positioning. So I've put the blue top row strategy, and I've put the green top row targeting. So that's why this guy is low HP. Do not worry, for you should be fine. But yeah, he still survived and you're still fine. It's just, you see, if you do one mistake, your team drop in HP, and we didn't full KO. Now, for this fight, you're gonna have a red in the top row. If you do not have Pycon, you're gonna use your tier 3 red. If your Pycon is low HP or low star, you can go with double red if you took your double red. And for this fight, I would probably drop one of the purple and go double red like this. Now for the team itself, we're gonna have one purple, one green, and one yellow in the middle, one blue and one purple in the bottom. If you are missing one of the characters here, the 5 apart from Pycon, or one of the red in the top row, you can use this Frieza as your tier 2. And I would put in the bottom the purple that is lower HP, lower star, lower Zenkai, and so on. So the weakest purple and the strongest will go to the middle. For the targeting in this fight, what we're gonna do is blue Trunks first, then it's gonna be Zamasu, then green Mai, purple Mai, and the double yellow at the end. Let me see if I'm having the correct positioning. I am, and we're gonna go with this. So it's gonna be the blue first because we have red in the top row, then it's gonna be the red here, then the green, then the purple, and the two yellow at the end. Pretty good in terms of HP. We healed a little bit this guy. This guy, it's the last time he needed him in the top row, and we full KO'd everyone. Now let's move on to the next fight, which is gonna be number 10. Similar to fight number 5, we're gonna put greens in the top row. If you do not have Frieza, you're gonna put your tier 3 green. If your Frieza is below 7 star, you're gonna put a tier 3 green next to him. and remove a red, so you're gonna put him here. Other than that, if you have Legend Bardock, I would replace the red icon for him, and you're gonna have double yellow for this fight, unless one of your other characters is not tier 2, so you're gonna replace that character with Legend Bardock, outside of the green Frieza, of course. And if one of your character that is not green is tier 3, you can also use the yellow Frieza for him instead. In terms of targeting, same as the fight number 5. The 4 blues at the end, purple first and green is gonna go second. We're gonna take this team, we're gonna do the purple, green, blue, 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 and blue. Great. We healed a little bit our red icon, we healed our blue a little bit, and we full KO'd everyone. Now let's move on to the next fight, which is gonna be number 11, and it's the same as number 3. There is only 2 fights left, and we're gonna try to get as much point as possible now. And for that, we're gonna use only tier 2s if we can. If you have only tier 2s, if you have the 2 tier 2 purples, you're gonna put them both in the top row. If you have only one of them and he's high HP, also he's above 7 star, you can put him on his own in the top row. And the other, if you do not have him, you're gonna replace him with the yellow Frieza or the Legend Bardock if you have him. If you do not, and you want to go with double purple, you can use Tora as your second purple. If you do not have at all a tier 2 purple, well, in this case you need to use a tier 3 purple, which is going to be Tora on his own in the top row. Other than that, if you have Legend Bardock, I would use him instead of Blue Frieza. If you missing a tier 2 character, and you can use Legend Bardock instead of him, and it should be fine. If you are missing one of the characters here, the 5 outside the purple in the top row, you can use the tier 2 Frieza here instead, and you're gonna go with as many tier 2 character as possible to get as much point as possible for this fight. For the targeting, we're gonna take the yellow first, then the red, then the purple, and triple green will go at the end, with our double purple being in the top row. So it's gonna be yellow first, then red, then purple, then we're gonna go with greens at the end. Pretty nice. Our HP is very high, just the Frieza because of the mistake we did earlier, and we full KO'd everyone. Now let's move on to the last fight, which is gonna be number 12. Last fight is gonna be the one that will give you the most point, and what we're gonna do is have a blue in the top row. You're gonna put as much boost as possible for this one. This Frieza is the only tier 2 blue, so he's the only option. If you do not have him, you're gonna put a tier 3 blue, obviously. And if he's like 6 star but he's above 60% HP, you can still put him solo in the top row, even 5 star, as long as he's high HP. If he's like 3 star and he's dropping below 70% HP, you probably need a second blue next to him, and you're gonna drop green Frieza and put the second blue here. Other than that, if you have Legend Bardock, you're gonna use him instead of green Frieza. And if you don't have one of the tier 2 characters, Legend Bardock can replace them too. So Legend Bardock, replace any character that is not tier 2 in your team, outside the blue obviously. But if you have every tier 2 character, you're gonna replace green Frieza. Same here, if you are missing a tier 2 character outside the blue, you can use yellow Frieza instead of him. But make sure yellow Frieza is in the bottom row, so if you are replacing the green, you can put him here. If you are replacing the purple, you can put him here. If you are replacing the red, you can put him here, and that should do it. Actually, I'll do this, and that should be fine. Now let's put back our team together and go to the targeting. We're gonna take the green first, then the yellow, double purple, and we finish with double red. The red transforming cell need to be last because he has the most stats from the enemy team. So it's gonna be Goku Black Rose, and the yellow, double purple, and double red. Let's see how we did. Pretty good in terms of HP. Now this guy, you remember why he dropped in HP, not because of this fight. And we full KO'd everyone. We should get a relatively decent score, enough for the 1KCC for this season. I don't expect it to be above 50 million points, to be honest. Last season it was 48 million, so it must, or not must, but it's probably gonna be around that. I would say 48, 49 million. And not many people know that there is only 7 tier 2 characters, so they're probably gonna mess up or they won't be able to use the EXs efficiently. So I wouldn't worry too much about the 1k CC for this season. Around 49 million should be the score. 50 million or 51 million will be pretty safe. That's all for today's video. If you have any question, let me know in the comment. Have a good one and goodbye.